Once upon a time, in the shimmering blue kingdom beneath the sea, there lived a young mermaid named Lyriana. She was not like the others. While her sisters sang with whales and danced through vibrant coral gardens, Lyriana often swam alone, her gaze fixed on the blurry silver world above. She'd whisper to the silent currents, "I just want to see what lies beyond." Her father, King Marinus, ruler of the vast ocean realm, would often warn her gently. "My dear, the surface world is unpredictable. The currents there are wild and strong. You belong here with us." But as we all know, a deep longing is often stronger than any warning. One evening, driven by her relentless curiosity, Lyriana swam closer to the surface than ever before. She saw it a human ship, glowing with the warm light of countless lanterns. Music, unlike any she had ever heard, drifted down through the water, a strange and beautiful melody. She rose just enough to peek above the waves, her eyes wide as she glimpsed the world of air for the first time. And then, in an instant, everything changed. The sky cracked open. A violent storm struck without warning. The waves rose and roared like ancient sea beasts, and lightning shattered the dark horizon. A powerful, unseen current grabbed Lyriana and dragged her away with incredible force, pulling her far, far from her kingdom. She fought against it. She spun and kicked her tail. She called out for her father, for her sisters, but the ocean, in its fury, did not answer. When the storm finally ended and the waters calmed, she found herself in a place she did not recognize. The coral was different here, muted and strange. The currents were colder, sending a shiver through her. She was utterly and completely lost. Lyriana swam for what felt like an eternity through dark, imposing trenches and eerie, glowing kelp forests she had never seen before. Strange sea creatures watched her pass with wide, unblinking eyes. Desperate for a sign of home, she approached a giant sea turtle who blocked her path. "Please," she asked, her voice trembling, "where is the Silver Reef?" The ancient turtle blinked slowly, its eyes full of old wisdom. "The Silver Reef is far beyond these waters. Few who are swept this way ever return." Fear, cold and heavy, wrapped around her heart. But turning back without knowing the way was just as impossible as going forward. So, with a deep breath, she swam onward. Days turned into a blur. Hunger and exhaustion began to slow her powerful tail. Her bright spirit started to dim. Just as she felt she was ready to give up, to let the cold currents carry her where they may, she discovered something truly beautiful, forgotten underwater garden, hidden within the skeleton of a sunken shipwreck. Crystals, embedded in the decaying wood, glowed with a soft, ethereal light between broken masts. Tiny, iridescent fish swirled around her like living stars. And there, in the center of it all, stood an ancient sea spirit, a magnificent figure made of swirling water and pure light. "You seek home," the spirit murmured, its voice like the gentle lapping of waves. "Yes, Lyriana whispered, her own voice barely audible. But first the spirit continued. You must understand what home truly is. The spirit showed her visions that shimmered in the water before her. She saw her father, King Marinus, watching the tides with an anxious heart. She saw her sisters searching distant reefs, their songs now filled with sorrow. She saw her own empty coral chamber, a silent testament to her absence. Then the spirit showed her another vision. It was Lyriana, but she was standing on the surface shore, alone, unsure of herself, and feeling utterly disconnected from everything. You believed the surface world would complete you, the spirit said softly, but longing without understanding can often lead you astray. Lyriana lowered her gaze, a wave of realization washing over her. I only wanted to know where I belong. The spirit smiled gently, a ripple of warmth spreading through the water. Belonging is not found in places, it is found in connection. With a graceful sweep of its watery arm, the spirit placed a luminous, pearlescent shell in her hand. This shell carries the echo of your kingdom. Follow its song. The shell began to hum faintly, a soft, beautiful melody that only she could hear. It was a song of home. With newfound hope, she followed it. It guided her through dangerous waters, past swirling, treacherous whirlpools, and through forests of sharp, unforgiving coral. At one point, a shadowy sea predator began to circle her, its intentions clear. But this time, instead of fleeing blindly, Lyriana remembered her training, the lessons from her father. She moved calmly, confidently, her grace and strength asserting her presence. She was not just a curious girl anymore. She was a princess of the sea. The shell's song grew stronger with every flick of her tail. It became warmer, more familiar, and at last she saw it the glowing towers of the Silver Reef, rising like giant pearls from the ocean floor at her home. Her heart leaped with a joy so pure it felt like it would burst. Her sisters rushed toward her, their arms wrapping around her in a flurry of relief and happiness. Her father embraced her tightly, his voice thick with emotion. "I feared the sea had taken you from me," he whispered. Lyriana smiled softly, looking at her family, at her home. "The sea did not take me, Father, it taught me it." After her return, Lyriana still found herself gazing at the surface sometimes. But now she saw it differently. The world above was not an escape. It was simply part of a greater, grander ocean she had yet to explore, but she would do so carefully and wisely. And one day, when she was ready, she would visit it again, not to run from her home, but to honor it. Because she had learned something powerful on her long journey. You cannot truly discover the world until you first understand your own place within it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more adventures. See you next time.